he doing?
1 hour later.
Happy Tuesday. Are you ready to argue with me?
If you're ready to lose,
Document to the Google Drive.
okay. Ah, I lost
Using
my
the
little
spell.
black cat. Boop.
I love that for us. So today's,
Oh,
where'd you get that stupid fucking hat?
Bean made it for me for Christmas. This is on my desk.
I love that so much. Nope.
Yeah. She's got a little stuffed Snoopy here. Hold on a second. Bean also made a Snoop,
Look at that thing.
and you just put the head on the
Mm,
Snoop.
okay.
He is
I
wicked.
love it. I love it so, love it so much.
Yeah. Anyways.
Now every time you
I
get
like.
mad, I'm just gonna picture you going like this with that stupid fucking hat.
Yeah.
So today we have things to discuss
Mm,
because I'm still pissed off from when you text me about the Disney movies. So that's what we're gonna discuss today.
all right.
With that said, I would like to know what you're drinking.
And drinking some Fancy's Maker Mark, actually, not like the normal Maker's Mark. This is a 112 proof, so not the cast strength, but it is very good.
Why
I
are you
was
holding it back
drinking
like you're reading it?
because it's got my name on it. I don't know if you can
Well,
see it.
I'm like, you're looking at it, it's gonna tell you what it is.
Yeah, like keep your secrets. You know what I'm saying? I was drinking, I was drinking Four Roses single, but the cat threw it on the floor. It did not break, but we discovered that the cat does not like Four Roses.
Is that the only bottle he's knocked over?
I don't want to talk about
Okay, we won't.
it. Shout out Four
I'm
Roses
drinking
though, because like it only broke the cap. It didn't break the actual bottle. So like
like the little
if you
plastic
have
cap
cats,
top.
yeah, if you have cats, well, in Four Roses it's a wooden cap, and that's the only part that broke. So if you have a jackass cat and you want to protect your liquor, get yourself some Four Roses.
Okay, I love that for you.
Yeah. Are you drinking a Franc?
No, I'm not drinking a Franc this time. I
Franc.
am drinking. No, shit. I have no idea what I'm drinking.
So it could be a Franc.
No,
Nobody cared enough for you to leave to figure it out.
a Rioja
All
Monte
right.
Buena, a red wine of
Maybe
Spain.
at least a little bueno.
It's a little Buena. It's not a full Buena. It's a little Buena.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking. A red wine. Shocking to no one.
yeah.
Um, so we are going to discuss something near and dear to both of our hearts. And so we've added this trajectory. Wow. I crushed that word. Did you just hear that?
I
There
mean, yeah,
was
you spoke like
no
a human
chance.
being.
There was no chance I was going to say that word correctly on the first try. One sip of Rioja, and I can speak perfect English. Some of the debate topics, I went through the coven and found some of the ones. I'm having a tough time.
Yeah.
I went through the coven chat and found some of the debate topics that I'll randomly get texted on a weekday. Like
Should
Paige
this
texted
should be
me like
wait.
6 months ago and said, "Is the grilled cheese a panini? I need to know." And I'm like, "Paige, I don't have time for this. It's 8:30 in the morning."
Listen, it'd be way
So
easier if I was in the coven, but I digress.
you're not in the coven. You're not joining the coven. Anyway, so I listed them out and then I added a second tab for draft topics because I feel like the brunt of our arguments are, is this better than that? Or is this better than that? Like today, just today, you text me about Ovi being better than Wayne Gretzky. I don't have the patience for that conversation.
Listen, if a straw only has one hole, then a t-shirt only has one hole, and I don't like
Oh
that.
my God. Today's
Yeah.
topic is not how many holes does a straw have. That's a topic for another day. Today's topic, we will be drafting the top 5 animated Disney movies. I'm already mad.
Well, listen, we need a whole lot of bumpers in order for me to answer this question. You've given me a bumper. A bumper number one is it must be animated.
Fact.
All right. So that throws out a whole list that is not included. So for those of you being a jerk on the internet, animated only, shut up. The next question that I have for you is, what is the basis for best? Are we talking best story? Are we talking best cast? Are we talking best soundtrack? Like all inclusive? Like I need you to define the category of best that we're playing with because that will change my answer.
Category is best. And so if the cast of an animated movie made it the best Disney movie you've ever seen, then that's on your list. Like that's up to you to convince
That's
the world.
that's entirely too broad. You can't, because
It's
if it's
not.
best soundtrack, that changes my list. You know what
But
I'm
it's
saying? Like
not
if we're
best
judging
soundtrack.
it,
It's best movie. You can love a movie just based on the score. That
all right.
doesn't make
If
it the
we're
best
going
movie. That
best
makes it the
all
best
around
scored
movie,
movie.
that right. So we're going best as in best story or best cast or best soundtrack or funniest or whatever.
I would
Like
argue you can't have best without being the best of all those things.
I disagree. Conversation for another time. All right. So just best, just all right.
Best animated movie. I will say, in thinking about this and discussing with the Coven and other like-minded fellows,
Idiots. Yeah.
that I don't think we should focus on the order. Like a lot of draft orders are 101, 102, your first round, your second round. Like, I just think you get
So
five, whatever
top
order you
five
need to put
and
it
it.
in.
All right. All right.
I'm also of the mindset that like circumstances, situations, and emotions change things. And today, the best movie might be this, but tomorrow it might be the third best movie to me. So it's all encompassing five. You can start with your favorite, you can end with your favorite. You get five and an honorable mention.
Ooh, so five and eighth. All right.
So you have to justify each one.
I don't do shit, but
We should flip a
maybe.
coin. Let's rock, paper, scissors, and see who goes first.
Wait, is
Ready?
it one, two, three, shoot or shoot on three?
On three or after three?
Right. Yeah. One, two, three, go or one, two, go.
It's one, two, three, shoot.
All right.
One,
One, two,
two,
three,
three,
shoot.
shoot. Shit.
Shit.
One,
One,
two,
two,
three,
three, shoot.
shoot.
A whole lot of scissoring going on right now. I don't know how I
No,
feel
there's
about
not.
this.
There's
Yeah.
not.
Swan,
One,
deux,
two,
trois,
three,
shoot.
shoot. All right, ready?
Yeah. Sean. Eins,
One,
zwei,
two,
zwei,
three,
shoot.
shoot.
Ha!
Shit. Okay.
I have the magic conch.
You have the magic conch. Wait, I should probably
So,
write these down.
so listen, we're just gonna get this out of the way, right? And this is a
I'm already mad.
inarguable fact.
I'm already mad.
Inarguable. That's a lot of mouth work for that word, by the way.
Never say that
Uh,
again.
yeah. Number one, specifically animated Disney movie, right? Without question or debate, is Tangled all day,
Oh my God.
all day.
I should have just wrote it and not even let you go first. I should have just wrote
Listen,
Tangled.
Eugene Fitzherbert is my spirit animal, and he stole my move,
The Smolder.
the Smolder. And if you look on your Disney Plus, which I may or may not be logged into your account, it is Eugene Fitzherbert for my profile because
Where?
he's the best. Although they never get his nose right.
You're so dumb. So your A number one is still Tangled to this day.
Oh, right, yeah,
After
like
all we've been through.
yeah, yeah. Like it's not even a conversation. Like that's just a given. It's like the one before the X.
Whatever you say.
No notes. I left no crumbs. Firm.
Left no crumbs. All right, well, that means my number one is The Little Mermaid.
That's a solid choice.
Yeah.
There,
I mean,
no notes on the Little Mermaid. Very fun, very interesting, little controversial.
no, it's not.
I mean, depending on what cover art you have for the Little Mermaid, could
Okay,
you know?
that's okay. 90s kids,
I
rise
just,
up. No pun
yeah,
intended.
I'm just very good, very demure, if you will, for the Little
It's
Mermaid. Not
literally
mad.
not demure. at all.
Ooh, most demure Disney movie? Different question.
No,
Sorry.
that's a
Stay
different day.
focused.
I
I'll
will
see you,
take a
Little Mermaid.
moment to uh, stand on a soapbox about the Little Mermaid because as of late, she's received a lot of hate. And I, full disclosure, have halfway written an article about this already because it makes me so mad when people say the dumb shit they say about Disney princesses and how I'm so mad already thinking about it. A lot of people say that The Little Mermaid teaches young girls that you should just run away for a boy, or like Ariel threw a fit over a boy. And it's like, first of all, did you watch the first half of the movie? Did you listen to the song that she sang? She literally wants to explore another world. She wants to be a literal scientist. And we just forget about that when she becomes resourceful and uses something shitty that happened to her to catapult herself exactly where she wanted to go. Did she think that
Colin,
guy was hot? Absolutely. Have you seen Prince Eric? He's hot as fuck. She didn't leave to go be with Prince Eric. She left because the only thing she wanted to do in her life was understand someone else's culture. Sorry for being
it's
resourceful.
that's a stretch, but
No,
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
the Little Mermaid
Scientist,
was a
meh,
scientist.
meh. That's you're pushing it there.
Okay. At the very least, the Little Mermaid was an explorer.
You know, you could say that about a lot of professions that women are in, but we'll keep this in a positive realm.
I hate you every day. All right. What's your number two?
Oh, in no particular order at this point. I need to represent for my children, all 75 of them.
Yeah, you have too many
Rob,
kids.
right. Robin Hood's got to make the list.
No,
Yeah, ooh da lottie, ooh da lottie. Like Robin Hood makes the list.
no.
They
You
say
know
they
what my
say
problem is with Robin Hood?
yeah, your lack of taste. They say underwear in that, which is great. But like Robin Hood makes the list of all time greats. Technically a Buena Vista film, if we're being fair. However, gotta be on the list.
No. My problem is if you can replace it with a better movie, then you no longer have to have it on your top five. Oh, what's a better
Can't
Robin
replace.
Hood movie? I'll wait. What's a better Robin Hood movie? I'll wait.
So now hold on. I just want to make sure I'm clear on the question that we're trying to answer. What is the best Robin Hood movie, period, animated or
Period.
otherwise?
Period.
That's a way loaded question.
This
Best
is the
Robin
easiest
Hood?
question I've ever given you in your life.
No. Most entertaining Robin Hood is probably Men in Tights.
It's the best Robin Hood movie, period.
No, well, I mean, like unlike other Robin Hoods, I can talk in an English accent. I have a mole. I mean, blow. I don't mean blow. I mean blow. Like, there's a lot. Like, so if we're talking best Robin Hood adaptation ever, I would absolutely give a nod to Robin Hood Men in Tights. However, the qualification is number one, it has to be a Disney movie, and
No, I
number
know
two,
that.
it has to be animated.
What I'm saying is something that maybe would have been in my top five is automatically gone now. If there's a better version of that movie, I would rather watch instead of it, which indicates to me
Not
if there's a
that's,
movie
it's
I'd
not part
rather
of the question.
watch instead of it, then it's no longer in my top five. Little
Well,
Mermaid can't be replaced.
I've heard being wrong is a thing. I've never experienced it
I hate you
before,
every
but
day.
it sounds like this is a prime example of somebody being wrong. And that's okay. I love that for you.
Whatever. In no particular order, the next best animated Disney movie is Aladdin, you fucking heathen.
Mm, Listen, number two, that's the second F bomb, and they both come from you. Uh,
No one's
Also,
shocked about that.
I don't have the love for Aladdin that everybody does. Love Robin Williams as a genie. The end.
I would argue that for some people, holistically, I love Aladdin, but for some people, the genie alone puts Aladdin in their top five.
I believe that that is an accurate statement. I don't not subscribe to that statement. I think Robin Williams did a phenomenal job. I understand why people would put Aladdin in it. I'm just not in that camp. I'm just not that.
Well, you better come with something good then, because I'm upset with your second choice.
Other movies that I absolutely love, Oliver
I
and
was going to
Company,
say, this is definitely
and
on
I
your list.
I would go so far as to say not only is Oliver the best overall, one of the best overall movies, I would go so far as to say that Oliver and Company also, in addition to that, has the best soundtrack.
Yeah, I would give you that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Lion King fans out there, I don't fully apologize for this, but you got Billy Joel versus John, and Billy
Spoiler
Joel
alert.
wins. Yeah, listen, Street Savoir over any other song
Unmatched. You can't win.
on Lion King, like the end. You know, what I'm saying like the
Yeah,
end. What else you want? What else you want? And by the way, if you, I don't know if you actually know this, Oliver and Company is the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater,
I did
and
know
Graham
that
took
about
me.
you.
Did you?
I did know that. I did know that about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's where we come to a crossroads because I knew you were going to say Oliver and Company, and I think that's the one movie that we will wholeheartedly agree on. That and probably Mermaid. We have come to an impasse where we have to decide we can't agree. So, like, I can't also put Oliver on my list.
I mean, you can because that would be the smart thing to do.
'Cause Oliver's totally on my list.
Yeah,
But I think
Oliver and Company
in
makes the list.
it's the
Maybe not
best.
in the
Yeah.
one slot, maybe not in the five slot, to be perfectly honest with you. But like Oliver and Company
Oliver's on
has
the
to make the
list.
list
I'm going to go ahead and say we shouldn't have the same, but it's okay for us to agree with each other.
like that. It makes me uncomfortable, but carry on.
You have to love me.
Nah. Ooh,
Okay.
she's making bacon. I can smell
Yikes.
it.
I'm at another impasse because earlier another person brought up a movie that I hadn't thought of and it made me mad. And so I wanted a movie to be my honorable mention, and I was like, I fucked up because I didn't think of this movie. I gotta go. Damn it.
I've seen it.
I gotta go Hercules.
Hercules is a tough one for me. Like I enjoy Hercules from the movie. I enjoy Hercules from the cast. Hashtag James Woods. I think it's up there. I am totally in the camp of, and this is very rare when it comes to Disney movies. Give me a live action Hercules with Danny DeVito as Pan,
Yeah, it's on the
right
books.
before he dies. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, he's not
so.
Pain. Pain and Panic? That's not
No, no,
Danny
no.
DeVito. I think he is gonna play Philocities in the live
Phil, that's
action.
right. It was
That's
Phil, not Pan. That's totally
Yeah,
my
it's
fault.
Phil. That
I
it
apologize for
sounded
that.
like
I'm
you were
sorry,
saying
internet.
panic, and I was like, no, pain and panic
Pan,
are definitely
Pan,
not
Pan, Pan,
played.
Pan.
No.
I think I can click
Yeah,
that up.
Herc. I love the Herc soundtrack as well.
Yeah,
It's not as good as Oliver, but I mean,
should
the
be
Hercules.
should be in the conversation
Yeah,
at the bare minimum. My turn. I would say another
your
movie
fourth.
that my fourth? No, well, how's it my fourth?
Tangled, Robin Hood, Oliver.
Oh shit, we're on the fourth already.
Yeah. You get two
This is
more,
where it starts
so
to get scary.
yeah, I don't it makes
Another,
me uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah, another Disney movie that I love that I feel should be on this list. And this is going to be controversial. I know that you're mad at this, but it is one of my favorites. And again, represent for the children's, if you will, Sword in the Stone.
No, I hate Sword in the Stone.
No way, Sword in the Stone is so much fun, and the song about Mad Madam Mim is like fantastic. Like one of the best. One of the best.
I will say, however, that the Mad Madam Mim Lorcana cards are very valuable, typically.
Yeah.
There's one in every pack, so like they're not always, but like we have a regular ass Madam Mim card that's worth like 30 bucks. Like, what is she
That's
doing?
what I'm
And
saying.
it's when
Mag,
she's a
like,
freaking weirdo in the red dress and it's bleh.
well, listen, the Sword and the Stone specifically, and we're going to take a little bit of a detour here, so stay with me. It is the animated version, in my not so humble opinion, of A Knight's Tale.
So again, you could lose the sword and the stone spot, fill it with something else because there's a better version of that movie that you would rather watch.
But the question isn't what is the best Disney movie that there is another adaptation of.
Understand? You're not hearing me. For something in my mind to be the best,
You know?
I have to not want to watch a different version of it.
But if I had the choice of like Clive Owen and Keira Knightley in their version of King Arthur versus The Sword and the Stone, although it's the same story, they are completely different movies, right?
Yep.
If I had a choice between one versus the other, it depends on my mood. Like if I want an action movie, like I'm going Keira Knightley. Like if I'm talking Disney movie and I want something animated, like I cannot in good conscience put the Sword and the Stone and Clive Owen's version of King Arthur, I can't put them in the same category because they're not the same. They are the same movie, but they're not the same movie. The joy that I would get out of either of those movies, because they are both very, very good, are on different ends of the
I
spectrum.
disagree with your reasoning behind measurement.
That's the problem. Your turn.
Number
Number
four,
four.
Beauty and the Beast. This is one of those things where you brought up in the beginning, is it best because of cast or best because of soundtrack? For me, the cast of the objects makes that movie top five best, like all day. Like the love that we have for Cogsworth, the dresser, Mrs. Potts, Chip, like Lumiere. Like for
Yeah,
me,
first
I
of
could
all,
watch Beauty and the
Lumiere,
Beast over and over again just for those
Lumiere,
people.
Lumiere should have been higher on the list, first and foremost. Like, give Jerry Orbach his
Cogsworth
love,
is a
right?
number one.
No, Lumiere over
Yes.
everybody.
No.
Uh, I, I
Cogsworth.
don't have I don't have any arguments against Beauty and the Beast. I'm a little biased on this. I'm gonna get a little personal here, but like you did Beauty and the Beast,
I
and
did.
that
I was
version
in
of
Beauty and the
Beauty and the
Beast.
Beast was fan freaking tastic. Not as good as Kiss Me Kate, in my not so humble opinion, right?
There.
However, I can very much appreciate Beauty and the Beast. I'll even go so far as, and I know this is not the category that we're talking about, but like animated Disney movies that were also live action, not mad at all
Yeah, they did.
at the
A lot of
live
people liked
action
it.
of Beauty and the
Hmm.
Beast. I like live action Beauty and the Beast better than I like live action Little Mermaid. It has nothing to do with the skin color of a freaking mermaid. However, I, I'm not mad at Beauty and the Beast. I don't know that I could put Beauty and the Beast myself in the top five because I like some of the older ones that kind of bump it out. You know what I'm saying? But I can humbly respect Beauty and the Beast being on the list.
So good. So good. Gaston, LeFou, like comedic
I would even go so
masterpiece.
far that the Gaston LeFou in live action is better than it in the animated version.
Oh, LeFou is
You know,
unmatched. I fucking love that guy.
Josh Gad for LeFou is like perfect. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like you knocked it out of the park. And a little, little LGBTQIA plus. Hopefully I got all those letters. Like nod
I'm probably missing one.
in that in that scene. They nailed it. Like I don't know that I personally could put Beauty and the Beast in the top five, but I wouldn't argue anybody else that had it in their top five. I think
Yeah. This is gonna make number five tough.
so. So what did I have? I had Tangled. I had The Sword and the Stone. I had
Oliver.
Oliver
Robin
and
Hood.
Company and Robin Hood. So my fifth best Disney animated movie. And I walked back and forth on this one when I was talking to Bruce because it's a tough one. There's a couple that could be in this realm, but if
Yeah. It
on
gets real
record
spicy when
being
you can only
it
pick
gets
one more.
real spicy because you get a five seed and you get an honorable mention. Fifth seed Disney movie best overall. I think that I'm going to go with. Give me a second. I need to think about it. I will. I'm gonna be. Man, this is gonna make more sense when I actually give you my answer. I'm gonna go so far as to say my five seed is Brave.
Okay. A
Listen,
lot
the
of people love
Scottish
Brave.
accent.
Full disclosure,
Listen,
I've not seen all of Brave.
listen, Brave is underrated. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
Like,
everybody
especially
who's
if you're
seen
like,
Brave says Brave is underrated. So I'm with you.
it's totally underrated, and especially if you spend any amount of time on TikTok with like kids that have Scottish accents, like they
Yeah, hysterical.
absolutely crush
Hysterical.
Scottish. Well, like we said, we had two of them from the caravan, like
Yeah, we
almost
say
like
it all
every
the
day,
time.
like all the time. Brave, I think, is a sleeper for everybody. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
know what we're talking about, like, watch Brave. Like, it's not. awful, like at all.
Yeah.
Like the music is good, right? It's good. The story I think is great,
Yeah,
and the
everybody loves it.
accents make it. Yeah, the accents make it even better. Like I would put because you gave me a little bit of a buffer with some overlay. I would put Brave in the top five, and I
Yeah.
think it's a sleeper. I think a lot of people sleep on that one. Like watch Brave and tell me I'm wrong.
Brave hit that weird patch of my life, which if I go back and figure out where I was, it would probably all make sense. But I missed movies. Like I missed Brave. I didn't watch Frozen until God, like 5 years after they were out. So like I didn't watch Tangled for the longest time. I was like, I'm not watching these new age Disney movies. They cannot be good. They are all
Listen,
very good. So I
listen.
missed Brave in that window.
Tangled will always have a spot in my heart. I've got a painting right over there that
Tangled
Bug
is
did.
freaking hysterical.
Yeah, I love Tangled. It's just nobody
Tangled is
will
good.
ever dethrone that for me. But with something like with something like Brave, like I just think people sleep on it. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't necessary. It didn't hit at the right time type deal. But like when you watch it, like it's very good. It's
I
very good.
can't wait to tell you which one I thought you were going to say both times and you still haven't said it.
Which
Uh,
one is it?
I can't. I gotta finish my list. What do I have? I've only got one left. All right, this was very
Mm-hmm.
hard for me because twice in one day I switched my five seed and my honorable mention. So I'm just gonna go
Mm.
with my five seed because I have fond childhood memories of watching it over and over again. I'm gonna go 101 Dalmatians.
Not terrible. That's not a
I
terrible
watched
choice.
the shit out of that movie, and other than Ursula, Cruella de Vil also is one of top tier villains. Top
You
three
know, that's
villains.
that's a debate for a different time. You know, what are the
It's on the
top tier
list.
villains?
It's on
I
the
would also
list.
say before we do top tier villains, I think that we should put a PSA out there. And if you haven't watched any of the Descendant movies on Disney
Oh yeah,
Plus, I would definitely recommend that because they do a really good job of giving you like a different perspective.
of villains. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, of villains, like 100%. Hollywood Ovations, no notes on that one, no crumbs, if you will. Like I think that it has its place for
I watched
sure.
the shit out of that movie.
But now we're throwing some shade on some classics like 101 Dalmatians. We're throwing some shade on like Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, I
We're
did love
throwing
Lady
some
and the
shade
Tramp.
on the aristocrats or
Ah,
aristocats,
pause,
if you will.
pause, pause.
Pause because they're cats.
No, pause because Aristocats is my honorable mention.
Yeah, and I feel like Aristocats probably is the most logical choice for an honorable mention. If we're staying in the animated category, if we're talking about Disney in general, like with the amount of stuff that Disney owns now, like that takes out Star Wars, that takes out
Mm,
Tron, that takes out a couple of different things that
yeah,
are out there. Like, but let's not forget, like, I'll even go so far, and this might be a little scandalous. I may, I may be convinced to put this on the top of my list if we were playing the what is the best soundtrack to Disney, which is a completely different question. My honorable mention, believe it or not, will be Pocahontas. And
oh
before
yeah,
we unpack that, I will say let us not forget that Pocahontas is not only a Disney movie, but Mel Gibson is technically a Disney prince at this point. Man,
yeah.
like the soundtrack of Pocahontas, like you stop it. You know
Yeah,
what
when I
I'm saying?
asked
Like
the
that
girls, that came up, and I liked Pocahontas. I didn't. It's not a top five for me, but I'm not saying it's not a top eight for me. And you forget about all the music in Pocahontas.
Colors of the
So
Wind, like I listen to
yeah,
that on the regular. You know what I'm saying? Like that is such a beautiful, like it's not only just a beautiful song as a general statement, but like the weight of that song,
yeah.
like
God,
makes
what's that
that
stupid
move.
raccoon's name?
I don't know, but he's cute.
He's so
Now I will
funny.
say, I do have to take a little bit of a sidestep. I got to represent the ladies in my life, right? One of the and I don't know if it fits in the top five for me. I really don't know. I It could very well fit in the honorable mention category, but I think one of the ones that really needs to be elevated in this conversation and they absolutely love it, and I don't have arguments against it, is Mulan.
It's in Kayla's top five.
Mulan's in Killer Top 5?
Yep.
Not
They
mad
had
at
some
that. Like
bangers. The
there's some
Coven.
listen, there's
The
some
Coven
bangers. There's
had
some
some
bops, as
bangers.
they used to say. You know what I'm saying? I think Mulan is kind of a sleeper in this conversation, right? Like I do think it needs to be brought to the internet public. You know, me personally, not a huge Mulan fan. Love Eddie Murphy, and I think he's perfect comic
Yeah.
relief. However, there are some songs that slap
Yeah.
in
Let's
Mulan.
get down to
But
business.
I
We
but
got shit
like
to do.
if somebody's asking me if it's Mulan versus Pocahontas,
That's
I'm gonna go so
Pocahontas.
far as Pocahontas gets a nod on that.
I have 2 points to make. First is the internet is going to be very mad at us because there is a movie that everybody loves, and everyone is mad at me because I've still not seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm sure you probably have. A Goofy movie.
Now that's ooh, that's a lot. That is very fair feedback. But you can watch that movie through so many different lenses
Uh-huh. That's why they
and
love it.
have so many different responses to that.
Yeah.
First of all, like Eye to Eye is fantastic. I send you like TikToks and memes about that all of the
Yeah.
time. So like most iconic song out of a Disney movie, like I think that's got an absolute chance to be involved in the conversation.
That's
But
a
if you
good
watch
draft
that
topic.
movie,
Most
if
iconic
it,
Disney song.
right, yeah, write that down.
Yikes.
If you
I'm
watch it
not,
from
no,
the
you know what?
lens
I'm not
of,
going to write that down because that's going to be a problem.
yeah, if you watch it from the movie, that movie from the lens of Max as the kid, you get X, Y, and Z responses and emotional callbacks from that. It, as a father of 8,000 children, you watch that from the perspective of Goofy, it changes what you get out of that movie. So, like, if we're talking depth of storyline, I don't know that you get much deeper than the Goofy movie with a
That's why
little bit of
everybody loves it.
soundtrack love
You grow up with that
on top
movie.
of it. Like the
Yeah.
perfect cast, like Max, go on vacation with your dad. Like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie. It's like onions or parfait because everybody likes parfait. Like, there is
Everybody
so
likes
many
parfait.
more layers to a Goofy movie. And here's the other one. I'll counter with that, not to take away from a Goofy movie, because I definitely think that that has all of the things that we should be talking about in this category. But I'll also counter with like quotability, music, just overall like storyline. Like I feel like an Emperor's New Groove
God, I
needs
love that fucking
need
movie.
it, like pull the lever, like rock down
Yeah.
that lever. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
poison for Tuesday. Oh, it's all coming together. You know, like it's such a
Yeah.
quotable like type of, like I speak squirrel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I
they
feel
made
like
an
we should
offshoot
do
TV
one
show
that's
of it.
like top five funniest Disney movies, and then that would
So
be 101.
that would definitely, that's why at the beginning of this I was like, I need a qualifier for what does best
Holistically best.
mean.
You still have not
I,
said the movie I thought you were going to say.
which one?
Are you sure you're ready? You're going to be mad.
Well, hurry up! I only
You
got like a
watched this
sip left.
movie more than I did. Fox and the Hound.
Now, now, Fox and the Hound does make a list. It does make a list for me for Disney movies. But the list that the Fox and the Hound makes for me is, and there is no argument against this. I will not entertain anything in the chat from this. The Fox and the Hound is the saddest freaking movie that Disney has ever put out.
Yeah.
Period.
Do you want to
Period.
know
We
the
could be
list
friends
of
if
it makes for me?
it,
It's 101, a list of movies I will never watch again.
like the Fox and the
101.
Hound absolutely deserves to be in part of the conversation with best Disney movies, but like there's
Sure.
very specific categories that it falls into.
100%.
So because we're not talking about like most emotionally damaging
Horrifying.
movie, yeah, like Bambi and Fox and the Hound are up there, and you can
Who
debate.
wrote Fox and the Hound, and did that person actively seek therapy?
they're right. Like Fox and the Hound, like from a sad movie perspective, like
Not
is
doing it.
just an absolute train wreck. But
101, never watching again.
if we're talking general best movies, I don't think it holds enough weight in order for it to make the list. But if you narrow down that list, like what is the saddest Disney movie ever?
100.
There's no question. It's Fox and the Hound. We
Yeah.
can be friends if you want to. This chick leaves the fox in the friggin' woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, no,
What?
yeah, yeah,
The trauma that I felt during that movie as a child has actually stuck with me to where a lot of people have abandonment issues for many different reasons, and they are all valid. My abandonment issues did not come from a traumatic experience of my own. I have secondhand abandonment issues because of that movie.
yeah. It definitely deserves to be on a Disney list. It's just not the current
This
Disney
one,
list that we're with.
not this list. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was the draft. So to put it back in order, Tim's Disney draft list is Tangled, Robin Hood, Oliver and Company, Sword in the Stone, and Brave.
yeah.
Kay's Disney
Oh, okay with
list
that.
is Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, Beauty and the Beast, 101 Dalmatians, honorable mentions to Aristocats, and I didn't write yours down. What did you say your honorable mention was?
My honorable
Pocahontas.
mention,
Yeah,
Pocahontas. Yeah,
yeah,
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
I, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that needs to be in the
Well,
conversation as
we're gonna find out.
overall.
I'll put a poll up
Yeah,
and we'll figure out. Anyway,
I do think that we should do another round of this where we narrow down the categories a little bit more, like best soundtrack or saddest movie
we
or
definitely have to do a best soundtrack.
scandalous take. Be upset all you want. The Lion King and Aladdin as best soundtrack, not in my top five. Like I'm just putting it out there right now.
No, I don't think they'll be in my soundtracks either.
I think Oliver
You
and
know, the
Company
reason I didn't
probably
put The
is
Lion
there.
King in my top five, for as often as I watched that movie, and I watched the shit out of that movie, The Lion King doesn't make best movie for me because I fast forward through a lot of it. And as
Yeah,
much as I love the parts
there
that I
are hot
love,
pockets.
to
Yeah,
me, you can't have a
Nathan Lane
best
is great.
movie. Yeah.
Tony Award nominee and winner Nathan Lane, like absolutely, totally get it. There are some flashes in the pan, but listen to all you
Close.
Lion King lovers out there, like I hear you, but at the same time, how about Pride not?
Yikes. I thought
Anyways,
about making it my honorable mention a lot, but I can't let go of how much Aristocats meant to me as a child.
I used to
And
get in
maybe
a
that's
fight
unfair to
with.
The Lion King, but I loved the shit out of that movie. The other one, and I saw a clip on this on the internet. I think I sent it to you. I saw a clip on this, and we will have to do this because I'm wildly passionate about it. It was top 10 football players in a movie.
Oh man. Ooh, I sent
Right.
you this message the other night. We just started watching Landman, which is phenomenal. So
I
Tyler
will watch
Sheridan
it.
fans that are out there, like
Gotta
if you
watch it.
haven't put it on your list, put it on your list. But one of the interesting things about Landman is it's in Midland slash Odessa, Texas. And
So much football.
if you know your movie history, right? The team that Billy Bob Thornton coached in Friday Night Lights is the
Thank you.
exact team that they reference in Landman. And I don't know if that's on purpose or on accident, to
Also,
be
oh,
perfectly honest.
100%.
Right? But
100%.
like the team's the same name, it's in the same town, they are the
Yep.
same color.
Same colors. Like, yes.
I have like a half a sip left, but
That's good enough for a cheers.
I feel like the only topic that we haven't hit yet, like I just have a swallow. This is sad and depressing. Is it dinosaur or dinosaurus?
No, that's now you're just being foolish.
It
No.
is dinosaurus. It's a rhinoceros.
Dinosaur has an A, rhinoceros doesn't.
You're telling me rhinoceros doesn't have an A in it? I don't know if
Not
I
in the
believe
same
that.
way that a dinosaur has an A in it. It's dinosaur,
Is
it's rhinoceros. It's saurus versus surus.
how about elementary versus cemetery?
No, it's elementary when you're talking about Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I
It's
don't disagree.
elementary when you're talking about elementary school. It's also elementary when you're talking about something being simple. Stay tuned for the next episode when we talk about the difference between elementary and elementary.
And cemetery and cemetery. Do you fold them in half or do you just put them in the ground?
Jesus Christ.
He's involved in some of them.
He is involved in this somehow. The end.
Yeah, like go on.
No. So that concludes the Disney draft top 5 Timmy versus Kay. If you've got other movies we forgot about, which we discovered we forgot many an animated Disney movie, or if you truly are mad that we left out a Goofy movie, you can share that with us in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Whatever they say, we don't know. Are we even on YouTube? No one knows. It's a surprise. And stay tuned next week when we will make another draft or talk about the difference between elementary and elementary.
Next week is generous, but I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, next week's definitely not happening. I have so many things to do next week.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Did you hear that?
You're not
There's
good
too
at
many
hanging up.
buttons. You can't do it. You can't. No, you don't let me hang up. There's a leave button. Got it. Leave.